All writers suffer writer's block at some point. They might struggle to construct plots, to develop a convincing world, or to make their characters pop. Others might be procrastinating, and some may be held back by fear. Whatever the case, it can be difficult to be creative when you're in a rut. Other writers still might be struggling to create the people who must populate the world they've created, especially if they are idea-based writers. While you might have a folder brimming with clever ideas, or a brilliant plot which sizzles with action and twists, none of that matters without strong characters. Unfortunately, creating characters from scratch can be difficult. In addition to developing characters readers connect with, you must create heroes and love interests and villains who will speak to you too. After all, if you're not connecting with your characters, you won't connect with your story. If you aren't in love with your hero, you're going to grow bored with your story and scrap it. There is plenty of advice floating out there, which explains how to create compelling characters. From character motivation to Enneagrams, you'll find endless blogs and books detailing how you might craft your hero's psychology or give him his save the cat moment. However, first you have to have a spark. After all, there's no point adding layers to a character you aren't excited about in the first place. This video aims to give you a base to start from. Before you can begin writing, you have to experiment and have fun. These 5 ideas aren't what you'd call professional methods, and your work isn't necessarily finished after you've tried them. Instead, by experimenting, you should come away with faces and names, which you can then develop further. Before we continue, I'm Riley, and this is Otherworldly Fiction. On this channel, I rant about fantasy books, discuss lore and characters, offer my bookish opinion, and share the occasional writing advice. If any of that sounds like your cup of tea, hit that subscribe button. Posts are on Fridays. In order to connect with your characters, and through them with your story, you must start off with characters you like. If you're having a hard time crafting non-existent people from scratch, here are 5 ways to find inspiration. Method number 1. Play The Sims. You heard that right. If you're having a hard time coming up with a character, The Sims is the perfect place to start. The many expansions can be pricey, but the base game has since been released for free, and there are thousands of free mods if you want to add new hairstyles or traits to your characters. Creating a sim is by no means a replacement for serious character development, but it offers a solid start. In addition to being given a face for your character, you'll also be prompted to choose your character's traits, preferences, hobbies, pronouns, and so on. Even more importantly, you'll be asked to choose a goal for them, which in turn should help you to create their character motivation. Finally, by experimenting with your character's clothes and looks, you'll find the style and the overall feel of the character. Moreover, once you've created one character, you'll be encouraged to create their family members, their home, and their bedroom. You'll also want to make friends, lovers, and enemies for them when you start playing. In choosing their career and interests, you'll also inadvertently generate story ideas if you need them. A grumpy woman with a scowl becomes the mother of 3 werewolf toddlers who must hold the family together as she grapples with bills and lunar rebellion. I don't know about you, but I'd read that story. And actually playing with the family you've created can give you ideas, such as who will be the misbehaved one, or what will happen when the single mother of 3 falls for another supernatural being. In bringing disparate personalities together in a roommate scenario, you may even discover the inspiration behind the next friends, except all the friends in your case might be career-driven aliens. Even if you've already tried the next 4 methods, plunking a character you have into The Sims can allow you to develop them further. as well as develop the world and situation you mean to place them in. Number 2. Mood boards. Sometimes all you have is a mood or a concept. Your story might be about a sea captain in a fantasy world. But how do you feel out your story? How do you create a captain you love and a world he or she will fit into? Mood boards remain popular on social media for good reason. They're fun to make, they're enjoyable to look at, and they're easy to do. Plus, if you're looking for social media ideas, sharing mood boards with your followers can help them to find out what your story's tone is. Brightly lit photos with lots of pink are obviously going to denote a different tone from moody, blue-tinted photos of oceans, tears, and silhouettes. Moreover, if video is more your style, you can shuffle your pictures into aesthetic videos. Even if you choose to keep your mood boards private, be they works of art or Pinterest boards, they can help you to fall in love with your OCs. In addition to pictures, you might also add a face claim to your mood board. A face claim is when you fall in love with a person's look and use their face as that of your character. You have to be careful, of course, as these are real people you're using. But if the face is taken from Pixabay or another legitimate photo site, you should be safe. In cases where your mood board is private, faces can be taken from anywhere. What's important is that you can picture your character. Nothing will disconnect you more from your protagonist than having them be stuck with a blank face. If you can picture exactly what they look like, it will be easier for you to bring them to life. Method number 3, music playlists. If you're looking for a way to both unwind and develop a character, music playlists are the way to go. Plenty of authors have lists for their characters in books. Stephenie Meyer had a playlist she listened to as she wrote Twilight, as well as songs which she associated with specific moods or moments for her characters. Jenna Morisi has playlists for her heroes. Heck, even manga authors have fun, with the creator of Bleach featuring the theme songs for various characters at the end of each issue. As you listen to the songs which remind you of your characters, it becomes easier to visualize new scenes, including plot montages or moments where your character stares out a window and daydreams about what she wants. These scenes don't have to end up in your story, but each song can have a meaning for your character, even if you never reference them. If you're planning on writing a moody vampire character, curating songs on loneliness, the pain of immortality, and literal vampires can help you to understand your character better, as the songs themselves, whether it be their melodies or the literal lyrics, will give you ideas of their own. Furthermore, if your character also enjoys the winter or craves connection with family, you can include songs which fit these topics. Think about how your character's desires or personality ties into your book's theme, and then choose songs which complement that theme. You can keep your playlist private, though if your series becomes popular, having lists to share with your readers could offer them novelty and help you to connect with them. Number 4, model your character after a pre-existing character. This one might sound like cheating, but hear me out. The goal isn't to copy every aspect of a character. The trick is to take those elements you enjoy, such as moodiness or a penchant for dramatics, and roll them into a character of your own design. You see this all the time with tropes, with writers returning to the manic pixie dream girl or the Byronic hero. If you want to write a character who's inspired by Twilight's Edward, you can. He can be moody, grouchy, musical, and intelligent, as long as you add in a unique character motivation, a different set of interests, a new career, and a few personality traits of your own, you'll come away with a new person. The main characters of 50 Shades of Grey were inspired by Edward and Bella, taking on characteristics from Meyer's leads, but enough elements were changed within the story to make it original. People will continue to debate whether the story is amazing or poorly written. But the point is that 50 Shades of Grey feels original. In fact, the story isn't even paranormal, even if its leads were based off of Edward and Bella. If you're still paranoid about copyright claims, you could even take a character from an older story and use them as a basis. If you want to write Cinderella in space, you can. If you want it to be clear which character inspired yours, write down to the character's manner and the situation she finds herself in. Choosing a book from the public domain can allow you to pay homage without seeming redundant, especially if you change the genre or give the character a new look and goals. Method number 5. Play around with Artbreeder. Sometimes the only spark you need is a face. The tilt of an eyebrow or the glint of 2 large eyes can suggest a personality to you. As mentioned before in regards to face claims, having a face in your head will make your character seem like a real person to you. Artbreeder can't do everything, and trying to make a face for a character who already exists can be difficult. That said, playing around with the sliders, including the ones others have made, will allow you to create unique faces. These not only look realistic, but they're also original. Generated by AI, you don't have to worry about your hero's face belonging to a real person or another author. Fine-tuning your character's hair or skin color is trickier. If you want to make a blue-skinned mermaid with purple hair, that could be challenging. On the other hand, if you find all your characters end up looking the same, and you want an original face, Artbreeder is great for discovering new facial features and ultimately creating distinct looks. In some ways, Artbreeder is even better than The Sims. You can recreate your character in The Sims after to zero in on particular details, but Artbreeder will give you your character's look, generating a face that's unique and consequently more lifelike. The Sims has a limited number of preset faces, and your characters can all start to look the same when you return to the same ones. If you want to have fun and play around, try Artbreeder. There are limits on how many faces you can make, but it's perfect if you just want to generate a character or two. And who knows, a face that speaks to you might even inspire you to tell a new story for that character's sake. In conclusion, this video isn't meant to serve as advice on serious character development. Rather, the goal is to help writers have fun and create a base for their characters if they're stuck. Each of these methods is a starting point for inspiration. Moreover, if you're especially excited about a character, but not ready to do the heavy lifting, you should combine more than one of these. For example, a character generated in Artbreeder could be recreated in The Sims. After you've determined your character's basic personality, you might then add to them with playlists and mood boards before fleshing out their personality with the traits of one of your favorite literary icons. Whatever you choose to do, these are 5 ways you can start a character if you're stuck. If you want a more in-depth guide on building a character, watch my video on the 3 stages of character development, in which I go through each layer you should explore, delving into everything from a character's wardrobe choices to her fears and motivations. Or if you want to continue exploring your character's looks, or create character artwork and graphics to share on social media, check out my video on character creation, which will be included in the end screen. Though I mentioned The Sims and mood boards, I also list other character creators, most of them free, which you can also use if you're looking to pass an afternoon. Which of the 5 methods are you most likely to try? Have you used any of these to create your characters? Sound off in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and happy writing!